Family meetings are one of the best ways to make forward progress in your family dynamic, but they don't always go as smoothly as you may like. Today, I'm going to cover 3 of the biggest mistakes that parents often make when holding a family meeting. And in just a few minutes, we'll have you on the right path for success at your next family meeting. The first common mistake to avoid at your next family meeting is tackling too many problems. So whether you're super frustrated because you keep finding pee on the toilet seat, or your child got a tardy slip for being late for school, or you just need more help in the kitchen, or maybe there needs to be a change to your family screen time protocols. There are countless reasons to hold a family meeting. The important thing, though, is to tackle those problems one at a time. Kids have limited attention spans and limited tolerance for change, and so these meetings should be short and focused. Plus, when you talk about X, Y, and Z all in one meeting, it's hard not to leave the meeting feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. It brings too much focus on the negative, and we want to focus instead on the potential for positive change. So you'll find that your problem-solving efforts, which we'll cover in the next section, are much more effective when you focus on one issue at a time. So if multiple family issues are bothering you, hold multiple family meetings, at least a few days apart, preferably more like a week or 2 apart, so you can tackle one problem and see some positive change before moving on to the next one. Now, the second mistake that parents often make when having family meetings is making unilateral decisions in an I'm the boss and this is how it's going to be sort of way. So the key component here that leads to successful family meetings is soliciting advice from all parties. And not just the ones that you think are involved, like who's actually peeing on the toilet seat, but bringing the whole family together. Because each of those topics that we just talked about for a family meeting, each of those addresses specific members of the family, but affects the whole family. And so you want to work as a family as a whole. And it's really important to make sure that everybody feels that their opinions are important, that their opinions are valued. What you can do is solicit from each family member suggestions on how to solve the problem. And you want to review the pros and the cons for each suggestion. So for every person, you're hearing their suggestion. As a group, you're thinking through the pros and the cons, and that will help you to see the value of each suggestion. And the side benefit of this is that it's teaching your child essential problem-solving steps. Now, I'm working on a video that will outline the steps in the solve problem-solving strategy, which is an organized way to solve problems that I find really useful in my own parenting, and I teach to all of the parents in my coaching program. So if you're enjoying this video and you want to hear more about the solve problem-solving strategy, then just be sure to subscribe and you'll hear when that video is released. Now, in the end, what you get when you bring all of these opinions together and you look at the pros and cons of each is the ultimate best option kind of coming to light. Usually there's one that seems like it's going to work best and you want to give it a try. That doesn't mean if it doesn't work, you can't come back and try the others. It just means this is the one that's standing out, and you, as the parent, have the ultimate say in which of these options you're going to choose. So everybody's voice has been heard. They all feel like meaningful contributors to the meeting, but you, as the loving authority figure, make the final choice. Now, the final issue that might be keeping you from holding a successful family meeting is your family's mindset that family meetings are a dreaded event, something unpleasant to be avoided at all costs. So what you can do is focus on 2 things. First is keeping the mood positive. Keep the focus on collaborating, working together, on making meaningful change to improve the family dynamic. And keep the meeting short. Short and sweet is the way to go with family meetings. This is going to be paying it forward to the next meeting. It's going to be easier to get others to join if this one was tolerable and productive and short. So we just got in, we solved the problem, we headed out. Now, if you want a cheat sheet to help you remember the points that we reviewed today and learn a few additional pointers, I've got you covered. Just head to drlindsayemmerson.com/meeting and you'll get my free guide on how to hold a successful family meeting. Your goal after learning these steps is to be able to say, okay, everyone, let's gather in the family room for a quick family meeting, and have your whole family willingly meet for a quick, amicable, problem-solving focused meeting that leaves everyone feeling heard with their opinions valued, and there's an initial solution that you'd agree to try out that seems likely that it'll actually benefit the family. Now that you know the key factors that will make your next family meeting a success, I suggest another video of mine on a topic that might warrant a family meeting, either now or in the future. How to respond when your child starts swearing. You can check it out here. Keep up the good work on your amazing parenting journey.